Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to another exciting evening of World Championship Wrestling. WCW Saturday Night coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. Josh with you. We are kicking things off with a grudge match between Ricky Morton and the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Nashville, Tennessee, weighing in at 235 pounds, one half of the Tag Team Champions, Ricky Morton.
We're with you for one big hour this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you also to all the new subscribers, and thank you to the old subscribers as well for staying with us this long. Morton seeking revenge against the Enforcer. As you know, Anderson and Blanchard attacked Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson and challenged him for those World Tag Team titles. That match has been signed for Starrcade at the end of the month. Fans awaiting the arrival of the Enforcer. And it's Tully Blanchard coming out first. Another member of the Four Horsemen. And he is being joined by the world champion Ric Flair and their manager James J. Dillon. And there's Double A. What a matchup this one should be. Anderson looking to inflict punishment on Morton.
And his opponent, accompanied by Tully Blanchard, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and representing the Four Horsemen from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 225 pounds, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Barry Windham is also in the building, the World Television Champion. He is prepping for his big matchup later tonight against Flying Brian Pillman. Pillman getting a TV title shot here. That's our main event. Also, Baby Doll is in the building as well. I saw her earlier. She, of course, is the valet of Tully Blanchard. Blanchard will have a match tonight as well. He is taking on Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes infuriated last week when Tully Blanchard got involved in that World Television title match, that return match, as Rhodes attempted to regain the TV title from Windham, but to no avail. And he is blaming Blanchard for his involvement, and they will square off later tonight. 10-minute time limit in this one. Our referee, Bill Scott. Collar and elbow tie-up. The Enforcer backs Morton into the corner. Will we get a clean break? Referee Bill Scott separates the men. And we're going to get a clean break. That is unusual for the Enforcer. Morton, wasting no time, whips him into the buckle. Picks him up. Big body slam by Ricky Morton. Robert Gibson not in the building this evening, I'm told. He had a previous commitment, taking care of an ill family member. Definitely wish them a speedy recovery. Wrist lock here by the Enforcer. Reversal by Ricky Morton. Overhand wrist lock. Trying to drive Anderson to the mat, and he does. Good job there by Ricky Morton. And Morton swings Anderson to the mat. Picks him up. Into the ropes goes the Enforcer. Morton now. Good hip toss. And Morton in command. He would love to knock off Arn Anderson here. Big right hand, clubbing blow, and a backbreaker. Anderson slides out to the floor. Morton giving chase, but he is outnumbered. He runs over Tully Blanchard, but Anderson sends him into that hard steel railing, and Morton collapses to the floor. Anderson putting the boost to Ricky. I don't know if Anderson's really interested in winning this match or just in hurting one half of the World Tag Team Champions. He throws him into the ring post. Now face first into the steel. Into that hard ring post. Face first went Ricky Morton. And now throws him again into the steel. He's going to ram him back first. And Morton being taken apart here on the floor while the Horsemen gather around watching. And I think we're going to get a count out here. Backbreaker by the Enforcer. Anderson's going to try to pick up a count out victory. Morton may not be able to continue. Flair picks him up. Throws him back in the ring right before the count of 10. Morton was nearly counted out. Anderson was yelling at Flair to throw him back in. Anderson sensing victory, I suppose. A sleeper hold here. Ricky Morton worse for wear. This might be all. Desperation move, and Morton able to escape. Morton with a scoop slam. Rallying now after taking a lot of punishment on the floor. He needs to wrestle a smart match and keep this inside the ring. He does not want to go back out there where the Horsemen are swarming the waters, so to speak. Running clothesline there by Double A. Coming up next, fans, Tito Santana and Sam Houston in action. They are taking on the Team of Doom, Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. What a matchup that should be. Also later on, Scott Steiner taking on beautiful Bobby Eaton, one half of the U.S. Tag Team Champions. Anderson goes to the eyes. Full Nelson into a choke slam and lateral press by Arn Anderson. A 2 count is what he gets before Morton kicks out. As I mentioned, that grudge match, Dusty Rhodes taking on Tully Blanchard. The series is tied 2 matches apiece. Both Blanchard and Rhodes would love to break that tie here this evening. Rhodes looking for revenge against Tully Blanchard. Good left jab there by the Enforcer. And another one really rocked Ricky Morton. Elbow to the top of the head. Anderson just working him over. Front face lock. Into a Russian leg sweep. Great execution. Thank you so much to everyone who commented last week. Definitely appreciate those comments. Keep them coming. Good backbreaker there by the Enforcer. Anderson now raining down right hands on Morton. Morton is bleeding. The forehead busted open. Spine buster by the Enforcer. That's probably going to be it. He's got him held down to Morton, just able to kick out. But the Enforcer stalking Ricky Morton. Low kick there, DDT. He rocked him, wraps him up. Can he hold him down? Easy win here this evening for Arn Anderson. And he is hoping that he and Tully Blanchard can repeat that in just 2 short weeks at Starrcade. Take a look at the replay here. Great spine buster. Morton was lucky to kick out. Actually, it'll be 3 weeks from tonight. I apologize. November 29th will be Starrcade.
Here is your winner, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Don't go anywhere, fans. More great action still to come. Welcome back, wrestling fans. In the ring, Tito Santana and Sam Houston awaiting the arrival of Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, the Team of Doom. And look who's coming out with them.
Accompanied by Teddy Long. And at a combined weight of 543 pounds, Butch Reed. And the All-American Ron Simmons.
I understand a bidding war went on to see who would be the manager of Doom. And it came down to Teddy Long and Woman. They decided just to partner. And they're going to co-manage the Team of Doom. Doom as deadly as ever. It'll be Tito Santana starting things off against Butch Reed. Very interesting that Sam Houston and Ron Simmons were the first U.S. Tag Team Champions. And Sam Houston was quick to sign on the dotted line to take on his former partner. Houston has tried to reach to him, tried to get in his head. Will we see a tag here from Tito? No, we won't. Beautiful drop kick. Reed just shook it off, but the head scissors takes him down. 15-minute time limit in this tag team matchup. Houston, over the past couple weeks, trying to talk some sense into Ron Simmons and beg him to ask the fans to take him back. But Ron Simmons seems like he doesn't care. He has adopted a new attitude. And he has picked up a new tag team partner in Butch Reed. And they are looking dominant right now. Reed picks up Santana, throws him into the corner. Tag made to the All-American. Double team coming up from Doom. Assisted high cross body. Simmons does not go for the cover. Russian leg sweep by Ron. Ron now straddling Santana, raining down right hands. Kicks him in the midsection. Look at that, Ron yelling at Sam Houston here. Houston just staring him down. Maybe he said, how's that new tag team partner working out for you? Throws him into the corner. And Sam Houston coming in. We're going to see it now. Former tag team partner squaring off. And Houston with a drop kick. That staggered Ron. What a chop there by Houston. And a punch to the breadbasket. Good uppercut there. But Butch Reed with a cheap shot. Reaching over, he pops Sam Houston right in the jaw. For that closed fist. And now Ron Simmons back in command. Picks up Houston. Neck hang. Throws him across the ring. Houston slow to get up. Simmons spins him around. Cobra clutch into a choke slam. Ron Simmons dominating his former tag team partner. Camel clutch trying to force Houston to quit. But Houston grabs the ankles and trips him up. Houston now crucifix by Sam Houston. Can he hold him down? One. Butch Reed was coming in, but Ron Simmons was able to kick out on his own accord. Right hand there by Houston. Fires him into the corner. Charging in. Good clothesline. And Ron Simmons now in trouble. Fans here in Atlanta clearly behind the team of Santana and Houston. Houston now. Ron Simmons, one-handed bulldog. He grabbed the hair of Houston, but Houston fights back. Good forearm shot. And Houston now sends him in for the ride. Good hip toss. Houston putting those cowboy boots to Ron Simmons, his former partner. Houston now cranking the neck. Slams the head down. Simmons gets up quickly. Good forearm shot. Another. Really rocking Houston. And the Russian leg sweep. Simmons now. Again, punching away right on the jaw of Houston. Simmons again going to lock in that camel clutch. This time in the middle of the ring. Nowhere for Sam Houston to go. What's Simmons thinking here? Off the ropes. A knee right to the face. He's wanting to punish his ex-partner. But Houston fights back. Good jawbreaker. And now the front face lock. Houston now taking Simmons into the corner. Face first into the top turnbuckle. Tag made to Tito. Good double team here. Beautiful drop kick. A great drop down. Great teamwork from this team of Houston and Santana. A knee right to the lower back, and Santana in control. Really liking this young team of Santana and Houston. Both great scientific wrestlers with great speed. And here's a pile driver from Santana. Look out, Butch Reed coming over. Referee Bill Scott warns him to stay outside. Now Santana. Some payback here. This time it's Santana applying the camel clutch on Simmons. Simmons trying to reach over and tag his partner. Unable to do so. He'll have to force his way out here, and he does. Good escape there by the All-American. He'll make the tag to Hacksaw Butch Reed. Good spear there by Reed. Really took down Santana. Single leg Boston Crab. Less than 10 minutes remain in the time limit. Good kick. Finishing move there by Reed. Drops him gut first over the knee. Woman like that. Leaping elbow drop by Reed. Woman really animated at ringside. Pumping the fists as Reed now applying the camel clutch. And Reed yelling at the referee saying that his foot was not in the ropes. That was what forced the break. Big power slam by Butch Reed. Another tag team match coming your way later, fans. We'll see the Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff, taking on the Patriots, Firebreaker Chip and Todd Champion. Great tag team match there. Also in singles action, Michael P.S. Hayes taking on Tom Zenk the Z-Man. All that's still to come. In addition to our big main event for the World TV title, Brian Pillman challenging Barry Windham. Santana now whips Reed into the corner. Tag made to Sam Houston. Another double team here. Runs his face into the waiting cowboy boot of Sam Houston. Houston now with the ankle lock on Butch Reed. Middle of the ring. Reed in a lot of pain. Trying not to quit. Reed flips over and kicks his way free. Good escape. Good veteran move by Hacksaw Butch Reed. Sam Houston just caught Reed coming in. Clothesline to the back of the head. And down goes Hacksaw Butch Reed. Woman pacing now. Very nervously at ringside. Running elbow drop. Simmons once in there. Houston now turns him over, single leg Boston Crab, but there's Ron Simmons there to break it up. He was trying to reason with Sam Houston there. Houston having nothing of it. We've got 3 men in the ring. Bill Scott orders Ron Simmons out onto the apron. And now Butch Reed, that gave him a chance to catch his breath and get back in this. Now putting the boots to young Sam Houston. Reed now has him up. Big fall away slam. Punishing move. Down goes Tito Santana off the apron. This might be the beginning of the end for Sam Houston. Into the corner. Tag made to Ron Simmons. Double team coming up. Reed has him up. Simmons off the top rope. Flying clothesline. They call it the Doomsday Device. Cover. Leg hooked. 2, 3. Doom picks up the win here this evening. But Sam Houston and Tito Santana looked very sharp. I would love to see these two men team again. Speaking of Houston and Santana, they need more experience together, I think. They could very well be a great tag team here in World Championship Wrestling. But tonight it's Doom going to the pay window. There you see it off the top. The running clothesline, the flying clothesline. Your winners, Doom.
Here are your winners, Butch Reed and the All-American Ron Simmons. Doom.
Don't touch that dial. Singles action coming your way next. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Thank you so much for joining us here this Saturday evening. Congratulations going out again to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Seems like they win every year. Again, the World Series champions of baseball. And speaking of champions, there's Sting, the U.S. champion, leading Scott Steiner, Luger, and Missy Hyatt to the ring.
The contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Sting, the Total Package, Lex Luger, and from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 261 pounds, Scott Steiner.
Missy Hyatt has put together quite a stable with her Hot Stuff International. Sting, Scott Steiner, Rick Steiner, Lex Luger. Sting, of course, the U.S. champion. He will be defending that title at Starrcade, but as of right now, his opponent has not been named. Here's Scott Steiner taking on Beautiful Bob Eaton, one half of the U.S. Tag Team Champions. Don't forget to tune in each and every Saturday night, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube for our weekly program. The fans love Steiner, Sting, Luger, and Missy Hyatt. Rick Steiner not in the building tonight, I'm told. Neither is Stan Lane.
Accompanied by Jim Corey Webb. And from Huntsville, Alabama, weighing in at 233 pounds, one half of the Tag Team Champions, Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton makes his way to the ring. As he does so, we'll talk about the matches signed already for Starrcade in 3 weeks. Of course, World Champion Ric Flair taking on Magnum TA in that return match. The World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, will face Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Also, the Fabulous Freebirds will take on Tom Zenk and Flying Brian Pillman. That match has been signed. 10-minute time limit in this one. What a matchup this should be. Steiner wasting no time. Snap suplex. Jim Cornette in the corner of Beautiful Bobby. Steiner definitely has the numbers in his favor with Sting and Luger and Missy Hyatt at ringside. Beautiful Bobby goes out to the floor. Now makes his way back in. Steiner went for the forearm shot. Nobody home. Eaton able to avoid it and deliver one of his own. And there is a side suplex there by Beautiful Bobby. Bobby now going to the eyes of Scotty Steiner. Bobby now stomps the bicep. Steiner usually wears that singlet, that University of Michigan singlet. But in singles action, he is wearing the yellow tights, the yellow trunks rather, and the yellow boots. Chin lock here by Scott Steiner. Great agility. Steiner in tremendous shape. Look at the agility of Scott Steiner. Big side suplex there by Scotty, and Bobby Eaton again going out to the floor. He'll go over and talk things over with his manager, Jim Cornette. Lex Luger coming over. Look at Missy Hyatt. They're really boxing in Beautiful Bobby. Sting also coming over to the corner. Big right hand there by Beautiful Bobby. Picks him up. Great backbreaker. Backdrop there by Steiner. Leaping elbow drop. And flips to his feet. Great agility there again on display by Scott Steiner. Goes for the cover. Hooks the leg. Might have him. 2. Near fall. Steiner thought it was 3. Right hand. Into the corner. Steiner charging in. Bobby moved out of the way. And the knee of Steiner cracked against the middle turnbuckle. Sting up on the apron. I think he might be checking on his partner. He was just wanting to make sure that Steiner was okay after colliding with that middle turnbuckle. Bobby Eaton yelled at Sting to stay off the apron. Cover here by Beautiful Bobby. Hooks the leg. 1. Gets a 1 count. Eaton now cranking the neck. And a knee right to the face. Beautiful Bobby would very well like the challenge for that U.S. title. Become a double champion. If he should win this match, perhaps he would make the challenge. Issue a challenge to Sting. Big elbow there. High knee lift right to the kisser. Picks him up. Good backbreaker there by Bobby. Bobby's a great wrestler. He does not need to resort to cheating tactics, but often does. If he could just change that mindset, he could very well become a world champion. The world champion, I should say. He is a former world tag team champion. He and Stan Lane held those titles before losing them to the Rock and Roll Express. Good move there by Steiner. Steiner now. The knee right to the groin. Come on, ref. And it's Steiner now with the low blows. Referee didn't say anything about it. A kick right to the face. Cover, middle of the ring. Has the leg hooked. Gets a 1 count, and that's all he gets. Steiner picks him up. Elbow right to the jaw. Really rocked beautiful Bobby. Bobby slips behind him. Kicked the back of the leg. Bobby Eaton just flipped off Sting. I think Sting said something to him. Not sure what it was, but it aggravated beautiful Bobby. But he took his attention away from his opponent, and he paid for it. As Steiner executes a great DDT, and that might be all she wrote. Cover. Leg hooked 1. A 1 count is all he gets. As we approach 5 minutes remaining in the time limit. It looks like Steiner, he's bleeding from the forehead. So is beautiful Bobby. Both men bloodied here on Saturday night. Scott Steiner was in the ropes, but kicked out as well. Again, Eaton attacking that lacerated forehead of Scott Steiner. Beautiful Bobby waiting for Steiner to get to his feet. Has him up. Good backbreaker, devastating move. And beautiful Bobby taking it to the top rope. High risk move. Taking a lot of time up there. Alabama Jam. The flying leg drop off the top rope. Cover. Leg hooked. Can he hold him down? Yes, he can. And beautiful Bobby pulls off another victory here in World Championship Wrestling. Remaining perfect. He has never lost in singles action. Impressive win over Scott Steiner here tonight. Great matchup here between these two. Could have gone either way, but beautiful Bobby with the flying leg drop picks up the win.
Winner, beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Stay with us, wrestling fans. More great action coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Ric Flair, and from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 241 pounds, Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard set to do battle with the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes issued the challenge a week ago after Blanchard got involved in that TV title match involving Rhodes and Windham. As I mentioned earlier, the series is tied at 2 matches apiece. Blanchard's 1-2, Rhodes is 1-2. They're hoping to break the tie here this evening, both men are. And Dusty Rhodes did not come alone. The former world champion, Magnum TA, accompanies him to the ring.
From Austin, Texas, weighing in at 270 pounds, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
I believe this marks the first time we've seen Magnum since losing the World Heavyweight title to Nature Boy Ric Flair. Magnum immediately invoked the rematch clause, and that match was signed for Starrcade Saturday, November 29th, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. Magnum looking to get into the mind of Ric Flair by being at ringside, also into the head of Tully Blanchard. No love lost between those two men either. Baby Doll, of course, will be in the corner of Tully Blanchard. "10-minute time limit in this one. Referee Bill Scott calls for the bell. And Tully went behind the referee to get an advantage on Dusty Rhodes and delivered a great clothesline. James J. Dillon also at ringside, so is Baby Doll. You also see the world champion Ric Flair out there. Head scissors here by Tully. Big matchup for both men, as they're hoping to move up the rankings here in World Championship Wrestling. Vicious chop, but Dusty shakes it off and cracks the knee of Blanchard. Swift kick to the chest. And now Rhodes grabs him. Suplex. Great execution. We've seen Rhodes use that move a lot in recent weeks. Tully taking things over here. Rotating the shoulder. Right hand there by Rhodes. Sends Blanchard sailing off the apron. And Rhodes going to follow him out to the floor. That'll break the count. And they'll restart. Good takedown there by Rhodes. And an elbow right to the bicep. James J. Dillon backing off wisely. Ric Flair also a good distance away. He knows Magnum T is right over there. Flair should go after Dusty Rhodes. Tully putting the boots to Dusty. Tully back in the ring. And he's yelling at Magnum TA now. Keep your eye on your opponent. Tully, one-handed bulldog there by Rhodes. Stumps the head. And now Rhodes with right hands. Trying to knock Tully senseless here. He'll deliver another set of them. Magnum loving what he's seeing. Blanchard in trouble. Rhodes ties him up. A version of the crippler crossface. Tully having a hard time getting out. He may have to submit right here. Rhodes has got it locked in. Blanchard needs to use that balance disadvantage on the leg, and that's what he's going to do. Good escape there by Blanchard, grabbing the leg and getting Rhodes off balance. Inverted atomic drop. That'll rock you. Blanchard now. Forearm shot. Another. Spins him around. Blanchard working him over. Waistlock. Rhodes escapes. Big clubbing blow to the back of Tully Blanchard. Whips him into the corner. Charging in. Big splash. And Blanchard collapses to the mat. Cover here by Rhodes. The leg is hooked. 2. Near fall. Rhodes thought it was 3. It was only 2. Tully slow to get up. He just fell backward. And Rhodes repays Blanchard with an inverted atomic drop of his own. And Blanchard's had enough here. He's heading back to the locker room area, it would seem. Rhodes jiving in the ring. He's going to go after Blanchard. He wants him back in the ring. Tully way up the rampway. Now turning around, perhaps having second thoughts here. He slips past Rhodes. Running back into the ring, looking to pick up a count-out win. And JJ getting right up into the face of Blanchard, saying, get back in the ring. I think it was JJ who was yelling at Blanchard, and that's when Blanchard turned around. And there's a clothesline that took down the referee. Referee's out. Blanchard, he's going for a weapon. Magnum looking on. Tully's got a chair. Tully's got a chair. But Dusty knocks it out of his hand. He took a swing at Rhodes. And I think he hit the rope instead of Rhodes. Thankfully for Dusty, he missed. And now the chair laying there on the mat could come into play later. Referee Bill Scott needs to throw it out of the ring. And that's what he's going to do. Thankfully. Rhodes tying up Tully rather. Dusty turns him over, cover, leg hooked, 1. Kicked out before the 1 count. Rhodes can't believe it. Tully with a big punch to the gut. Trips up Rhodes, spinning toe hold applied. He is trying to force a submission off Dusty Rhodes with those spinning toe holds. Working over the legs. And now, here comes the figure 4 leg lock. He's got it locked in. Rhodes nowhere to go. Rhodes going to try to turn it over here, and he does. That reverses the pressure with 5 minutes remaining in the time limit. Tully will have to break the hold. Rhodes now whips him into the buckle. Charging in, another big splash by the American Dream. Rhodes now, military press, high above the head, slams him down. Chinlock here by the American Dream. Still to come, wrestling fans, Michael P.S. Hayes taking on Tom Zenk. Hayes, of course, one half of the fabulous Freebirds, along with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, who is in the building this evening, I'm told. And so is Precious. So I'm sure they'll be at ringside for that one. Flying Brian's also here. That is Tom Zenk's closest friend and tag team partner. But he is preparing for a big TV title match. Cover, middle of the ring. Against Barry Windham. That's our main event coming your way this evening. Rhodes has him up. Looking for the airplane spin. Round and around Blanchard goes. Drops him right in the middle of the ring. Rhodes not done with him. Reversal by Blanchard, charging in, clothesline. He rocked the American Dream. And Tully now sizing up Rhodes. Good hip toss there by Dusty Rhodes. And Rhodes has him reeling. Good left jabs and a double punch. Think it caught him right in the chin. Cover. This is going to be all 2 and 3. No, Blanchard kicked out. Again, Dusty says it was a slow count. I don't think it was. Blanchard was just able to kick out. Rhodes now, not done. Swinging neck breaker. Great execution on Blanchard, whose forehead has been busted open. And Rhodes looking for the bionic elbow. If he hits it, it's going to be all she wrote. Good block by Tully. Tully saw it coming. Now wringing the arm of Rhodes. Less than 3 minutes left in the time limit. This one might go to a time limit draw. If so, they'll remain tied in the head-to-head series. Vicious chop there by Blanchard. Good left jab and another. Big forearm shot and a right hand. Blanchard now might be going for the slingshot suplex. Can he get him up? He's got him up. He's got him up. Great execution by Blanchard. He hit Rhodes with a slingshot suplex. Cover. Hooks up the leg. Can he hold him down? He won. Blanchard just moves ahead in the series. 3 matches to 2. Impressive come from behind victory by Blanchard. He had all but quit earlier, heading back to the dressing room area before James J. Dillon yelled some sense into him. Blanchard returned to the ring and he pulls off a victory, a very impressive win over the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Magnum can't believe it. Impressive win here by Blanchard. Looking back here, great matchup between these two.
Here is your winner, Tully Blanchard.
Blanchard will need medical attention. He is headed back to the locker room to get just that. Hard-fought victory for Blanchard. Raises his arm in victory. There you see Baby Doll. We'll be right back. Wait a minute, wrestling fans. We've cut back to the back area, and that's Ravishing Rick Rude attacking Sting with a metal cart mashing the legs of the U.S. champion. What provoked this attack? I didn't know Rick Rude was even in the building. He just threw Sting through the locker room door. Fans are watching on the monitor. They are not liking this, crashing the leg of Sting. It's no mystery that Sting has had a history of knee injuries, and Rude attacking that right now. We need to get help for Sting. Where's Lex Luger and Scott Steiner? And Rude walking away. We've got to go back to the ring. Let's get some help for Sting.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 539 pounds, the Fireman and Todd Champ, the Patriots.
Got Michael Hayes, Tom Zenk match coming up next, fans. I apologize, got the order out of order. We're going to see the Patriots taking on the Russians, Ivan Koloff and Nikita Koloff. Great tag team match coming your way. Our thoughts and prayers definitely with the Stinger right now. He is being checked out by our medical team. So is Tully Blanchard. What a night it's been already here on WCW Saturday night. And here come the Russians, along with Barbarian and their manager, number 1, Paul Jones.
And their opponents, accompanied by the Barbarian, and at a combined weight of 565 pounds, Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff, and the Russian Gladiator Koloff.
I don't think the tag team scene has ever looked more impressive than it does right now. We have the Patriots, the Russians, the Powers of Pain, Barbarian and Warlord, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, Tom Zenk, Flying Brian Pillman, the Team of Doom. And we saw Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. And that new team of Tito, Santana, and Sam Houston. And don't forget the Road Warriors, of course, Hawk and Animal. This tag team division is stacked. I'm sure I've forgotten somebody. The Freebirds, Jimmy Garvin, Michael P.S. Hayes. This is your place each and every week to watch the best in wrestling, only through World Championship Wrestling. What a roster we boast here in WCW. Look at all the greats we have in singles action as well. Sting, Luger, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson. The list goes on and on. Barry Windham, Rick Rude. The best right here. Thank you so much for tuning in here this evening. This is a very important match for both teams as they hope to move up the rankings, keep pace with those other great tag teams that I mentioned. Firebreaker Chip will start off for his team. Nikita Koloff for the Russians. 15-minute time limit in this matchup. Straight right hand there by Nikita. And the Russians, the Koloffs looking to dominate here tonight. The Patriots, of course, no pushovers. If they take them too lightly, they might just find themselves on the losing end of this one. Thunderous clothesline there by Firebreaker Chip. And Chip now spins around, drops all the way down on the leg of Koloff. Great strategy. Keep that big man grounded. And Firebreaker going for the camel clutch, middle of the ring. He's got it locked in. Great execution here. Firebreaker Chip definitely a fan favorite in Atlanta, Georgia, and all over the world. They love him, along with Todd Champion. They would love to pull out a victory here. Koloff going out to the floor, taking a time out here. I think he didn't expect this level of competition from Firebreaker Chip, but again, it goes back to my saying, you can't take any team lightly. Went for the right hand, nobody home. Chip just dodged him. Good ability there, but Koloff moved out of the way as well. Firebreaker crashed against that middle turnbuckle. And now Koloff back in charge. Drops the elbow across the chest. Firebreaker crawling over, makes the tag, the Todd Champion. Nikita ready for him, rushes in, runs him over with a clothesline, and now putting the boots to Champion in the corner. Nikita now dragging Todd Champion. Todd Champion, a large man. Stomps the head. If we go over our 1 hour allotment, we'll stay with you to bring you the remaining 2 matches. Tag made to the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. Koloff charging in, takes down Champion. Koloff now measures him, stomps the face. And Koloff just knocked Firebreaker Chip, sent him sailing off the apron. And look at Koloff just punishing the back of Todd Champion with those swift kicks. Now front face lock here. Look at this. Abdominal claw here by the Russian Bear. Champion fading fast. He's been worked over by Ivan Koloff. Koloff, one of the toughest guys in WCW. Again, punishing that lower back. That's going to knock the wind out of you. Champion trying to crawl over into the corner and make a tag, but Firebreaker's not there. He went to the wrong corner. And now a pull ram sends Champion shoulder first into that steel ring post. Now yanks him out of the corner. Slams him down. It's been all Ivan Koloff here since being tagged in. Bangs the knee hard against the mat. Now working over the other leg. Koloff just working Champion over. Fan standing. Ivan stalking Champion here. He's got him up. There's a bear hug. And that back has already been worked over. Champion's crying out. He's given up. He couldn't take the pain. A lot of pain inflicted to the lower back of Champion. As soon as Ivan Koloff blocked on that Russian bear hug, it was all she wrote. Champion had no choice but to cry out and submit. Hard loss here for the Patriots as the Russians make short work of them. Champion was dominated in this one.
Here are your winners, Russian Nightmare, Nikita.
Firebreaker checking on his partner.
And the Russian Gladiator, Irvin.
On the floor, out of camera view. Hopefully he's okay. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. The action continues. Singles action now. Michael P.S. Hayes taking on the Z-Man, Tom Zenk. And it's Hayes coming to the ring first, along with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by gorgeous Jimmy Gavin and the fabulous Freebirds. From Bad Street, Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 263 pounds, Michael P.S. Ace.
Hayes strutting, so is Jimmy Garvin as they enter the ring. A lot of confidence oozing from them. They will take on Brian Pillman and the Z-Man at Starrcade in 3 weeks. And they are hoping to punish Tom Zenk here tonight. Hopefully they do not get involved in that TV title match later on between Brian Pillman and Barry Windham. Pillman will have to have eyes on the back of his head.
And his opponent from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 240 pounds, Z-Man Tom Zenk.
The Z-Man makes his way to the ring. I remember back to December of 1990 when Z-Man captured the World TV title from Arn Anderson. What a match that was. 10-minute time limit in this one. Referee Bill Scott calls for the bell. I was pretty upset with Anderson at the time because he was a TV champion. He just disappeared off television. Never defended the title. I thought they'd gotten rid of the championship. Michael Hayes applying the camel clutch on Tom Zenk, looking for a quick win. Precious rooting him on, pumping the fist. Tom Zenk will slip free. So I was glad to see the title change hand. I did not know till much later that Anderson was injured, and I was sorry to hear that. That's why he was unable to wrestle and compete. Apparently the championship committee waived that 30-day rule. But I was glad to see someone who would be on TV each week defending that TV title. Swinging neckbreaker here by Tom Zenk. It was a short reign by Zenk, however. I believe Anderson regained it like a month later. But of course, then after that, you saw Anderson defending week in and week out. He had recovered. That was good to see. Z-Man going to the top rope. High risk move. Flying knee drop from on top. Great move there by Tom Zenk. Whips him into the buckle. Good counter there by Michael P.S. Hayes. Also, I remember when Michael Hayes won the U.S. title from Lex Luger. That was a big upset. I never saw that coming. Again, I think it was a short reign, though. Luger regained the title. Held it for, I believe a year before losing it to Stan Hansen at Halloween Havoc. Small package here by Tom Zenk. Has him rolled up. Referee slow to get into position. Only a 1 count. Zenk might have held him down for a 3 if the referee had gotten down there in time. Into the corner. Z-Man puts him up on the top rope. Z-Man from the middle rope. Japanese arm drag. Great execution. Z-Man fired up here in Atlanta. Z-Man taunting Hayes now. Slips from behind. Rolls him up. Trying to hold him down for the 3 count. Can he do it? 2 and 1 count's all he gets. Only a count of 1. Z-Man off the ropes. Spinning back elbow. Again, fires him in. Hayes leaps over the top rope, but Z-Man knocks him off the apron. And now Tom Zenk off the top rope here, waiting for Michael Hayes to get up. Big fist right to the kisser. And Z-Man very physical here this evening, taking it to Michael Hayes. Drops the elbow. Great execution. Our main event coming up next, wrestling fans. Z-Man's tag team partner, Brian Pillman, wasting time there, and that gave Hayes a chance to get back in this matchup. Good backbreaker. Brian Pillman, Zenk's teammate and partner, friend, will challenge Barry Windham for that World TV title. Cable clutch here by Michael P.S. Hayes. Fans understand a match has been signed. Sting has gotten the all clear. That's the good news. No serious injuries for Sting. That's the medical report I just received. But he wants Rick Rude in the ring at Starrcade. And the only way that would happen, the only way Rick Rude was signed was if the U.S. title was on the line. And that's going to be the case. Sting will put that U.S. title on the line against ravishing Rick Rude at Starrcade in 3 weeks. So yet another match signed for the granddaddy of them all, Starrcade. Don't miss it. Saturday, November 29th. Michael Hayes picks him up. Snake eyes. He dropped him face first over that top turnbuckle and now drags him to the middle of the ring. Lateral press. 1. Can he hold him down? Gets a 1 count. Z-Man rolls out of the way. Good drop toe hold. And now stomping the legs of Michael Hayes. Picking the leg, snaps it down. And the Z-Man leaping over Michael Hayes. Again, just really taunting Hayes. Savate kick. He plastered him with that savate kick. Right to the kisser, the cover, and he gets the win. Impressive victory by the Z-Man. Jimmy Garvin can't believe it. Covers his face in frustration. And it's going to be a loss for the Freebirds, at least one half of them here this evening. And the Z-Man really rolling here in World Championship Wrestling. Scores a great pinfall victory over Michael P.S. Hayes following that savate kick. Hopefully we'll get another look at it. Hayes really took it to Z-Man. And here it is, right on the button. And that's all she wrote for Michael Hayes. Z-Man better watch his back here. He just stared down Garvin.
Here is your winner, Z-Man Tom Zenk.
Garvin backed off. Garvin now heading over to check on his fallen partner. And that's good. We're not going to have any ruckus here. There's Precious looking on. Yeah, Garvin wisely not going after Z-Man. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. It is time for the main event.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Television Championship.
TV title on the line. The challenger, Flying Brian Pillman, makes his way to the ring. Wearing the Bengals trunks. I've been a Bengals fan for 40 years. I've seen a lot of futility, especially in the 1990s. But this team this year, they're giving me grayer hairs than I already have. Total lack of defense. I'm 47, and I think I could rush for a touchdown against the Bengals defense. No football experience, at least not on the field, but I still could do it. It's been so frustrating. The World TV Champion about to make his way to the ring. And there you see him, James J. Dillon, not wearing the title. Okay, the TV title is down. The ring announcer has the TV title. What is she doing with it? Barry Windham not even wearing the title to the ring. I guess wanting to show off those abs. TV title is on the line here. Barry Windham might try to convince himself it's not by not wearing it. I forgot to mention that he was mad earlier. He said he didn't feel Brian Pillman was a worthy contender for that TV crown. And Windham perhaps protesting by not bringing the title down. The ring announcer has it. But Joe Flacco for the Bengals has been a pleasant surprise. I really like him. 40 years old and still slinging it. In fact, he set a record for most yards passed in a game by anybody 40 and up. He has the record. That includes Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. That's quite an accomplishment by Joe Flacco. Threw 4 touchdowns. The Bengals have to score 50 points a game to even get a chance of winning. It's been that way for the past couple years. I guess when you're so lopsided, we have so much money invested into the offense with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Evan McPherson. You got it all wrapped up in those guys, which you need, but there's no balance on the defense. Let's go down to the ring announcer.
Introducing the challenger from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 226 pounds, Brian. Introducing the champion from Texas, weighing in at 275 pounds, he is the World Television Champion, Barry Windham.
You can't really know, but if Joe Burrow had at least had an average defense last season, I think they go to the Super Bowl and perhaps win it. Of course, that's just wishful thinking on my part, but just with an average defense, I think they would have won a lot more games than they did. They missed the playoffs by 1 game last year. This year, I don't know if they're even going to make the playoffs. TV title on the line. Let's focus on wrestling now. Thank you for bearing with me on that Bengals rant. Lion Bryan challenging Barry Windham. Sit back and enjoy this one. 15-minute time limit. And Brian Pillman all alone. No one in this corner. You see James J. Dillon, Arn Anderson, and the world champion Ric Flair in the corner of Barry Windham. And Flying Brian wasting no time here. What an opportunity for Pillman. He would love to capture that TV title. Windham has been the champion for 14 days. He, of course, dethroned Dusty Rhodes for it 2 weeks ago. Pillman now at the Halloween Havoc. Flips him over. Pillman now going up top. Here, Pillman to the top rope. Flying off and a good elbow drop. And Flair having words with Brian Pillman. They were teammates in the Lethal Lottery, and they worked well together. But here Flair really getting under his skin. I'm not sure what was said, but it really got to Pillman. And now Flying Brian outside. He was threatening Ric Flair there. He needs to keep his focus on the TV champion, and that's going to cost him. Belly to back suplex there by Barry Windham. As I said, we'll stay with you as we're approaching the 7 o'clock hour now. We'll stay with you to bring you the exciting conclusion of this TV title match. Thank you for staying tuned. Monkey flip here by Pillman. Again, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's totally free. Also, click on the bell to be notified when we put up a video, but it's usually every Saturday. Missile drop kick there by Pillman at this time, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Cover here by Brian Pillman, looking for the title, but gets a 1 count. Windham kicks out. Pillman now, up top. Big splash, hooks the leg, middle of the ring, 2. Another near fall. Pillman really taking it to Barry Windham and applies a shoulder claw, a vicious nerve hold in the middle of the ring. Windham sweeps the leg. We are approaching the Thanksgiving season, Thanksgiving holiday coming up in America. Stomps the arm. Brian Pillman would have a lot to be thankful for if he can walk away with a TV title. Right now, he's in danger of losing this match. And that was a near fall. Windham almost pinned Brian Pillman. Pillman outnumbered. Anderson throws him back in the ring. Anderson serving as a lumberjack. Into the corner. Face first. Drop kick right to the back. He really rocked the challenger. Throws him in again. Another drop kick. Barry Windham has a lot of agility for a large man. Speaking of Windham and the Windham family, definitely our thoughts and prayers with Mike Rotunda. As of this recording, understand he's undergoing a lot of health issues. So definitely be thinking about Mike Rotunda. Great wrestler. He is signed here to World Championship Wrestling as well in our Legends capacity. Barry Windham now, looking to make Brian Pillman cry uncle. Always a fan of Mike Rotunda. Guess he was called Mike Rotundo in the World Wrestling Federation. When he came to the National Wrestling Alliance, Jim Ross called him Mike Rotunda, and that's what always stuck with me, was Rotunda. Pillman yanks him out of the corner. Pillman on the top rope. Flying elbow drop. Cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Another near fall. I think Jim Ross enriched the vocabulary of every wrestling fan. Cover here by Pillman. Kind of rolled up in that form of a victory roll. Spins him around. Pillman really taking it to the champion. Running elbow drop. And another. Jim Ross, a very intelligent man. Can't sing his praises high enough. Jim Ross, a legend. He was definitely the voice of World Championship Wrestling in the early 90s before departing for the World Wrestling Federation. I was sad when that happened. I've always been a WCW fan over the other promotion. Face first goes Windham into the top turnbuckle. One-handed bulldog. Cover here by Pillman. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Almost a new champion crowned right there. Windham just kicked out. Don't get me wrong, though. I do like the World Wrestling Federation. I liked it in the 80s. I watched it. I couldn't get enough wrestling back then. I had the Hasbro figures in the early 90s. There's a claw out of nowhere. And Pillman in trouble. Windham locked it on, but referee called for the break. He said Pillman's arm was under the bottom rope, and that called for a break. Windham furious, but Pillman really lucked out. That might be all anyway. No, Pillman kicks out. 9 minutes left in the time limit. Of course, in the early 80s, I was watching the World Wrestling Federation, watched Saturday Night's Main Event a lot. Tuned into Wrestling Challenge. I think it was on Channel 2 in the Dayton area. It was on late, like 11:30 at night, after the news, I believe. Or midnight. It was on late. It was syndicated. And of course, they had a Saturday morning show. I think it was Superstars of Wrestling, maybe? Yeah, that sounds right. That was on like Fox or 22, which was NBC. Monkey flip out of the corner by Pillman. And I bought WrestleMania 6. Hogan Warrior on pay-per-view. I don't think I bought any WWF pay-per-views before then, however. Abdominal stretch here by Pillman. Trying to force the champion to submit. Great matchup here for the World TV title. I bought some of the WCW pay-per-views. Several, in fact. Well, my parents did. Windham shoves him down. Windham has him up. DDT. He planted Pillman. And that might be all for Bryan. He drags him to the middle of the ring. Wraps up the leg. Can he hold him down? 2. Can Pillman kick out? No, he can't. And Barry Windham. What is James J. Dillon doing? He just flew up onto the apron. I guess celebrating. He might have thought Windham was going to lose this contest. It was close there several times. Pillman scored several 2 counts on Windham. Great victory roll here. Or a modified version of it anyway. Did not quite get the legs over the neck to wrap him up. Great matchup here. Barry Windham still the TV champion.
Here is your winner and still World Television Champion, Barry Windham.
You have a great week. And I'll see you again next Saturday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time.